Natasha and I watched Schindler's List at the weekend. And of course, it reminded me of Viktor Frankl's incredible Man's Search for Meaning. And I know you spoke about meaning. Yeah. What's your use or how you incorporate having meaning in your life, in your work, Chris?
And I love this question, actually, because I think this comes to the heart of everything we're doing. And what we're trying to do as therapists is lead people to a life of meaning, richness, and purpose.
What is meaning for you?
The pursuit of what matters. And let's go again, because that's probably not quite there yet. I would start with looking at what we often call core values. And these are we're often motivated by achieving outcomes.
Yeah.
Getting a pay rise, running that marathon. And those are good. And we don't want to stop clients or ourselves from having those. But the challenge with outcomes is that they can be thrown off, they can be led astray by random life events. And if you've trained for a year for it to run a marathon, but actually on the day you sadly break your ankle, suddenly you might feel that year that you've spent is wasted and start beating yourself up or something like that. And so one of the ways that we're trying to understand, well, if there was no pressure on you now, how would you want to live your life? What are the sort of doing words that you would like to live your life by? Or if people are up for this, we might even explore, for example, what words they would like written on their gravestone, or how you'd like somebody to talk about you in your own eulogy. And those can be different in different areas of your life. So the way I'd like to be remembered as a partner might be very different than the way I'd like to be remembered in my work life. And that might be a little bit different than how I'd like to be remembered as a martial arts coach.
Yeah.
But maybe we could come down to the 2 or 3 important values in each of those areas. And for example, this will be very common for a lot of people. I'm sure that a lot of people will aspire to be a loving, caring parent. And there's no end point. There's no finish line for being a loving, caring parent. It's something that every day we get up and we say, can I do that again today? Can I be more like that today? But being very clear on what is important for us. And here's the tricky bit, I think, is getting rid of the rest of the stuff that we think we should or must do, but actually doesn't really.
What is that stuff?
We often call these shoulds and musts in CBT. Any thought which starts with I should, I must, I have to, we would typically consider what we might call an inflexible demand. It's a rule that we've made in our life. And some of those things are true. Let's not dispute that.
Yeah.
If you have children, for example, you have to keep baby humans alive. That's, but if we look at something like even paying the mortgage, it's not actually a have to. It's a nice to. And your life will go on if you don't. And that might seem quite extreme to some people, but actually shifting the attention away from what are the things, do I feel like I have to be this? Do I feel like I have to be perfect at work? This is super common. Do I have to please everybody that I come into contact with? These are very common inflexible demands that people have. And the challenge with that is that it leads people to do behaviors which are unhelpful.
Yeah.
And when they do unhelpful behaviors, they then experience emotions that are unpleasant often. And so helping people navigate what is essential, leading a life in pursuit of your values, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be really nice. And through that is one of the routes that we pursue this Frankl-esque meaning, richness, and purpose in our life. But also understanding that sometimes I'm making demands on myself where I say, but I have to be this. I have to be the perfect therapist every time I step in the room. And it would be nice if I could.
Yeah.
But maybe I can also be sort of self-compassionate enough to say, but nobody's always perfect. So maybe I can have a preference to say, I'd like to do my best every time. It doesn't have to be. And if it's not perfect, I can live with that. I'm still doing my best, and that's good enough.
Yeah.